Herbs. They're such an incredibly versatile addition to any garden. And while you mightn't have a patch as extensive as this one, herbs and their use throughout history have been accessible to us all. Our next story from Sophie is a tale about how herbal therapy came to Australia and led to the establishment of a very different type of farm.
I'm a lover of plant scents, and these roses are grown specifically for their perfume. It's just one of dozens of types of plants grown here, especially for use in beauty products. This property is only 20 minutes down the road from my place in the Adelaide Hills. This region was specially chosen for producing botanical essences.
For farm manager and agricultural scientist Nikita Soukhov, the work here is a world away from what he's used to.
I used to work with some olives in Israel and then turf production in Canada, and I did some work with sugarcane in Queensland.
So sugarcane is an industry that uses quite a few chemicals. This is an organic, biodynamic farm. That's a bit of a contrast.
Oh, I totally agree with you, and it was a welcome change for me.
For example, with weeds, how do you manage weeds on a scale like this?
So weeds are actually our major cost in the operation here. The vast majority is done by hand weeding. We also have some solarization trials. We also try to use some mulch.
Yep.
Just putting some hay in between the plants, try to keep the weeds down.
And what about pests and disease problems?
Use companion planting.
Wonderful.
As well as some organic products.
How many different crops are you growing? I mean, I saw roses and chamomile and...
We grow around 30 different crops on the farm.
Wow.
Ranges from perennial to annuals, and some of them are root crops, and some of them are trees.
All the weeding can't be much fun for the workers here, but picking the chamomile with ladybirds for company looks like a great gig. And here you're harvesting chamomile. Now, chamomile is not only pretty, but it obviously has herbal properties. Do you like to harvest it?
I do, yeah. It's very relaxing. Oh, I love being in the outdoors and the lovely fragrances and the ladybirds, like you said.
Yeah. And what's your favourite crop to harvest?
The roses. Yeah, definitely the beautiful colours and the scents. And each colour has a different fragrance.
So obviously the roses have to be harvested at the right time to get the right oils and perfume?
That's correct. We're trying to harvest them in the morning hours.
Yep.
This gives us the best oil content of the petals.
And what different varieties are you growing? I can see lots of different colours.
Definitely. So roses, I think it's one of the most popular products of Jolik. We are approaching almost 3,000 bushes at the moment.
Wow.
And about 9 different varieties. The vast majority currently is David Austin roses, the Gallica roses.
And how do you manage things like aphids on your roses? I mean, I see yarrow there. Is that planted here for a purpose?
That's right. We planted some yarrow crop right near the roses as a companion plant. We had some aphid infestation a few weeks ago, but the ladybugs that living in the yarrow came back quickly and attacked them. Same with hoverflies and some parasitic wasps. So it's in purpose here.
Fabulous. Now, I know one of the engine rooms of this farm is the compost making. Do you use yarrow for the compost?
It's part of the biodynamic preparation. We produce around 200 tons of compost every year.
Oh.
And you're right, it's the engine of the operation. It's the nutrient supplies for the plants.
And in case you're wondering, all the scarecrows are for deer and kangaroos. These elderberries are looking fabulous. How many have you got?
Around 100 trees.
Okay, now they're really tough, hardy plants. But tell me, what's that ring around the base for?
When you grow in elders, one of the trickiest parts is to keep the weeds below them, and sometimes we need to reduce damage caused by whippersnipper.
Okay.
This is why we put some tree guards.
Okay, that makes sense. Now over there is the most beautiful grove of birches.
Sophie, I love this area of the farm. It reminds me a bit my home country in Russia, in the northern hemisphere. It's also constantly shady here, which is makes nice to walk around. We use the birch for its leaves and for its anti-aging properties for the skin.
And so what do you do once you harvest all this material, whether elderflowers or the birch leaves?
From here, it goes to our drying shed.
And what happens there? It's dried and stored, or?
We dry it and we vacuum seal it, and it's stored for the next 3 years.
Now this rosemary's loving it up here.
Oh, I love this part of the farm, Sophie. The rosemary is really flourishing in this Mediterranean climate. The smell and just the views of these beautiful Adelaide Hills, it's fantastic.
It's fabulous to see this broad-scale commercial farm operating organically, but I know that's a lot of work. Is it worth it?
Yes, organic farmers face many challenges, but I think it's worth it. First of all, we produce really good quality herbs that, after all, goes to our skin, and we deserve the best. And I do believe that we need to leave the land as much not polluted for all the generation that will come after us. And organic farming is the way to go.